The Tower of Trials. Throughout history, it's never been conquered. And in this place is the infamous dungeon. The protagonist had wonderful memories of this place, along with his comrades. But now he is 36. Just when he was thinking of giving up this career, a voice rang out in his head. Someone who has reached the maximum level can adjust his skills. The goddess congratulated the adventurer. Her name is Kodai Haugu. She can give him the strongest weapon in the world. But was he really willing to sacrifice his levels for this weapon? The man was sure that he was. Then she asked why he was so desirous of strength. He replied that he had level 50, however. There was no way to get rid of his failure. Every time he leveled up, his stats increased randomly by 1 to 3 points. Each time he gained 1 point. He tried so hard to overcome this and become stronger. However, the gap between him and his comrades continued to widen. The man realized that not everything can be obtained by hard work. That's why he wants to reset his level and become stronger. And after that, he will destroy the Tower of Trials. The goddess decided that this would then be his strongest weapon. His level will drop to level 1, and he will lose all his abilities. The man thanked her. He realized that he still had years of combat experience left. He would definitely become the strongest and conquer this tower by himself. The protagonist was about to return when he suddenly noticed something strange. He saw a girl imprisoned in a crystal. The man approached her and asked if she was all right. Suddenly she said that she had been waiting for him for so long. She got out of there and leaned toward him and leaned against his lips with hers. The adventurer returned home. He couldn't just leave this girl in the cave, so he took her with him. The man decided to wait for her to wake up and explain what had happened. The hungry girl woke up smelling something delicious. He was glad that she was finally awake. The meat pie was ready. What he saw made him blush dramatically. The girl asked who he was. The man replied that his name was Yuya. He was an adventurer and asked about her. She wondered. Yuya thought she had amnesia. The girl inquired about what he had prepared. The man offered to find her clothes first and then eat. At the table, he asked if she tasted good. The girl replied that it was excellent. He is glad to hear that. There's plenty more for her to eat. She is his guest, so she can eat as much as she likes. Yuya inquired about what had happened to her. It turned out to be absolutely nothing. Then he suggested we talk about what would happen to her next. She has 3 options. Option 1. She leaves this house immediately and survives on her own. The girl was upset. It seemed cruel to her. The man reminded her that she still had other options to choose from. Option 2. She would work as a waitress at a local bar. It's owned by a friend of his, so it would be pretty safe for her there. And she would be able to eat meat pie every day, which made her happy. The girl inquired about the last option. Yuya replied that it was to join him and become an adventurer. She would have to infiltrate dangerous dungeons to make a living. That's much more dangerous than working at the local bar. Besides, she'd have to be near him all the time. Then she decides it's okay and makes a decision. The girl will become an adventurer. She wants to be with Yuya. The man was surprised to hear this statement. After all, that's the most dangerous option. She replied that the reason is because it sounds fun. Yuya accepted her choice and asked her to stop climbing on the table. Dinner was over, they should hurry up and go to bed. At night, the girl could not sleep and turned to Yuya. She stated that she needed a name. The girl could not rest until he gave it. At first he offered to let her think about it. She's a girl and she really likes meat pies. And the name of this restaurant is Moon Meat Pies. The man asked about the moon. The girl liked that name. She thanked Yuya for it. They had to get up early tomorrow, so he suggested they sleep in and wished Luna sweet dreams. Oya informed Yuya that the purchase was finished. Yuya was very grateful to him. It must have been difficult. Is it okay to leave your dagger store just for this? Oya replied that it was fine. After all, it was a request from him. Luna was surprised at how empty this house was. The girl was called. She immediately jumped outside. Oya noticed that this young lady was so energetic. The girl became indignant, saying that she is not a lady. She's the moon. Oya apologized. Yuya asked her not to be rude. That man is the one who brought her those clothes. Raising her head, Luna thanked him. It looked quite nice. Yuya also brought her a gift. Now they would have to fight a lot of monsters. So, this is for her. Luna felt that she couldn't accept such an expensive gift. She doesn't have any money. He stroked her head, telling her that it was all right. Her body would be enough to repay him. Oya flashed him a strange look. The man didn't realize what he had said wrong. He meant as an adventurer. He thinks Oya is as naive as ever, even though he told him he was done with it. Something tells him there are reasons for his decisions. Maybe he should also try to get back in the game. The girl was surprised to see something huge. It was a caravan of giant beasts. Although they are a bit slow, it's still one of the most favorable modes of transportation because of its high danger level. The moon trembled in front of him. Yuya knew that if he wanted to level up, he would have to travel to other cities using it. The girl happily slid inside. 5 days later, they hadn't arrived yet. Luna was bored. He noticed that she had been saying this since yesterday. Then Yuya suggested that she go and take a look outside. The place they are heading to is a holy land for adventurers. The girl marveled at what she saw. It was the city of beginnings, Ranbulgu. The protagonist called Luna over and offered her a look. This is the guild he was talking about. The girl was surprised by its size, and it's just as huge inside. This place brings back so many memories to Yui. Luna inquired about the purpose of their stay here. He explained that they would receive a couple of tutorials before they received their classes. He was suddenly interrupted, addressing him as an old man. The group of adventurers were surprised that he was actually trying to be an adventurer at such an age. He'd better stop right now or he won't be able to survive. The guys left. The man ignored them and walked on. One of the adventurers rushed after him, causing him to fall to the floor from Yui's reaction. The adventurers were shocked that this old man had beaten Kevin. It turns out that his body reacted on its own. He heard a familiar voice asking him to stop. The guild representative reported that this place prohibited any acts of violence. The man immediately recognized Phila. Covering his face with his hood, he apologized. It happened because he was attacked. Kevin stated that this was not true. He had interfered in their affairs. Phila understood. She asked those present if anyone who had witnessed the conflict could kindly tell her what had happened. People had seen what had happened. Yuya admired this girl. Now Phila realized what had happened. She let Mr. go and asked him to leave them to her. The man thanked her for her help. Luna was surprised that she looked her age but was already working. Yuya explained that she was an elf. The rate at which elves mature greatly decreases after they reach 12 years of age. If he remembered correctly, she was currently 27. However, why is she here? When it comes to class, it is similar to the position that every adventurer possesses. In total, there are only 7 classes. The man asked everyone to step forward and choose one of these 7 classes. Then they would officially get their class. The adventurers talked about their classes. Luna inquired about the class Yuya was going to choose. The guys were as follows. The girl asked what they should do now. He decided to show her. Both of them had to show their class. Yuya wants to become a mage warrior and Luna wants to become a thief. The choice is finalized. The adventurers noticed that this old man had chosen warrior mage. Isn't that the weakest class? They called him an idiot. He tried to ignore it. A normal team consists of 4 people. Using common knowledge, each team member tends to specialize in one style of combat, such as warrior or mage. This is why no normal adventurer would choose a mixed style class such as a warrior mage. But this only applies to normal adventurers. A crowd of guys rushed towards Luna. Each one offered to join his team. Yuya knew that every team needed a thief or hunter with strong tracking abilities. Besides, Luna was also a pretty girl, so he wasn't surprised. The girl decided that she would join any team that could take her and Yu. The adventurers realized that she was talking about that old man who had chosen a mage warrior. Everyone immediately dispersed. The man knew it was his fault, but Luna didn't think so. She wants to follow Yuya. Everyone was indignant upon hearing this. If so, the man offered to look after him. The girl, agreeing, extended her hand in return. The protagonist is not here just to get a class. The main reason he came to this town is the presence of one quiet whisper in his head. Only adventurers who have reset their level can unlock the ability to keep their stats at the highest level. Kodai Hagu said that he, the one who wanted to reset his level, had done a good job since he had gotten this far. She appreciates his passion for adventure as much as his determination, so she grants him the ability he has long dreamed of. From now on, as he increases in level, he will receive the maximum number of points. The man realized that he had finally freed from this damned failure. Luna noticed that Yuya was crying. She asked him to kneel down for a while. The girl hugged him, after which she asked him if he felt better. Yuya's mood immediately lifted, and he thanked her. Luna couldn't sense any monsters nearby, which was strange. Detection is one of the abilities of a thief. Judging from Luna's current state, she could definitely detect any monster within 150 meters. It says that there is danger ahead of them. This is the territory of the stone golem. Ordinary low-level adventurers won't be able to deal with it. The girl decided that they would go back then. Yuya felt that they were obligated to go. He wants to try out something. The boys realized that they had to hurry. Someone was fighting inside. The golem attacked the adventurer. The man recognized those guys, so they were hunting monsters in the area, and because of that, Luna couldn't sense anyone nearby. Yuya told Luna to wait here. He knew that he needed to concentrate his energy and wait for the right moment. The man rushed towards the monster. To finish this thing off in one blow, first he would need to reject its attack. However, it takes a long time to cast this spell. The distance is 0. The area is extremely small. Casting time for maximum damage is 2 seconds. He was going to use a medium fire type spell. The man attacked the monster. The enemy was defeated. The adventurers didn't expect such a thing from this old man. His personality interested them. Yuya reported that they were lucky this time, but he asked them not to take any more risks like this. That was it, now they could go. The adventurers left the cave with a good impression of him. Yuya feels that he can defeat 3 more. He offered to beat another golem. Underground transportation hall. Yuya praised Luna for her efforts. They had already completed all their tasks, so he offered to take their rewards in return. A crowd of people had gathered in the room. The girl was angered that her sister wouldn't let her become an adventurer. Phil reminded her sister that the life of an adventurer was too dangerous. Yuya found out that she had a younger sister. The girl believed that if she could become one, so could she. Phil thought she was just lucky, all thanks to the help of a man who always knew what situation she would find herself in. The man realized she was talking about him. If he remembered correctly, when Phil was about the same age as her sister, she had an assignment for him, so he had agreed and successfully completed it. But the image of that cute little pixie kept appearing in his mind. A few days after the assignment, he accidentally ran into her when she was being chased by several men, so he decided to just help her. Yuya can't remember why or when, but they started traveling together. Phil announced that her sister was no longer allowed to try to get her class, which shocked her. In response, the girl said that she really hated her. She was heading straight towards Yuya. The girl crashed into him, turning her attention to the man. She remembered that he was her sister's boyfriend. The fellow adventurer was not happy with this news. Phil had not expected to see him. She was surprised to learn about his level. More importantly, why was he here? Yuya replied that a lot of things happened. Her sister decided that she was willing to give him tons of elven treasures as a reward, so she asked him to let her follow him, because that was the only way she could become a true adventurer. There was no way Luna could let that happen. Yuya belongs only to her. She won't give him to anyone. Phil asked if he really did all those strange things to the child. The man, startled, explained that they were just traveling together, just like they used to. She asked if he still had work to do. Yuya had already finished. He offered to talk elsewhere. There was just so much murderous aura around him throughout the conversation. The girl thought he was joking now. Phil inquired about the reason why his level was so low. He realized that he couldn't tell her the truth right now. While traveling to the mysterious dungeon, he was attacked by an unusually giant caterpillar, and its strange ability, level sucking, took away all his experience. So he returned to the first level. He asked not to tell anyone else about it. There was something he needed to ask. Why is she here all alone? The girl told him that after he left, it didn't take long before she decided to leave the team as well. The news surprised him and he inquired about the reason. In fact, it was because Yui was no longer there. Phil chose to say that a lot of things happened, so she was now the guild secretary. If that was the case, the man apologized for bringing it up. It was too late for that, but he offered to introduce himself again. He is Yuya, an adventurer, simply Luna, Till Itherlands, an elf, and Phil Itherlands, her sister. It turned out that Till was 14 years old. She begged Yuya-san to accept her request. Till was adamantly against it, since Yuya is a man. He asked what she meant by that. Till thought it was fine. After all, he hadn't even laid a finger on his little sister yet. He and Phil declared that not at all. Then the girl decided that everything was alright. The man inquired about the elf treasure she was talking about. It was the elf's dew, an artifact that could only be made by the elven people. It would take them 5 years to fill one such bowl. He realized that it was an artifact that could stop a person from aging with just one drop. Yuya recalled that he was already 36 years old and his body was showing signs of old age, such as the pain in his back. He agreed to take Till with him if it was okay with Phil. She decided to see if her younger sister really intends to become an adventurer. Till wants to become an adventurer because her sister used to look so happy doing it. It is true that an adventurer must face dangers on a daily basis. However, ever since Phil met Yu, every day she spent with him was full of joy. She was very happy. She really wants Till to feel this happiness too. The girl realizes if it's with Yuya, she's up for it. Till rushes to Luna with the words that she loves her. The man asked Luna not to make that face. It's not like he's being taken away. He suggested that she think of it as if she had made a new friend. The girl was overjoyed by this news. Till suggested that Luna-chan should help each other. Phil said that she would then be under Yui's care. Luna accepted Till's offer, just as Yuya made a promise to Phil. The girls agreed that they could call each other simply by their first names. Since they had a new comrade, they raised a toast. Luna has found another one. There is a monster rabbit about 140 meters ahead of them. Till decided to tackle it. Luna asked if Till could see it. The girl told her that the Itherlands, have a special eye structure. She could clearly see a very cute rabbit. Till shot. The arrow disappeared straight into the monster. She didn't miss once and no longer feels any signs of life. Yuya felt the experience points being added. Just like Till said, it would definitely be within 200 meters. As for a distance of 300 meters, the chance would probably drop to 70%. Till's abilities exceeded the man's expectations. He asked if she specialized in precision shots. It turned out that the girl used arrow creation. He knew that arrow creation allowed its bearers to turn their magic powers into arrow storage. The level of the person using it would directly affect the maximum power and accuracy of the shot. Till realized that she needed to increase her level to become stronger. Luna reported that a strong monster was approaching them. It was a maddened bear. Yuya decided to stay ahead of it. He asked Luna to keep a safe distance while attacking and Till to stay behind them. Till used a spell. Thanks to her magic, the monster was killed. The man didn't realize that she was using both arrows and magic. It is a special ability that not every elf at the beginning levels can use. The girls admired each other's abilities. Luna said that the assassin's facet is used to target an enemy's weak spot. Yuya had taught her that ability. Till replied that he was amazing. Their team is really strong. Now that everyone had shown themselves well, the man suggested that they should clear the area of monsters. By this time, Luna had managed to get hungry. He patted them on the head, saying that both of them had done a good job today. The two of them had put in a lot of effort. It had only been a week and everyone had already reached level 10. Phil had never heard of such a thing. The man asked if this was what happened when hunting stone golems. In fact, he had never heard of it either. The girl thought it was strange that he was able to hunt stone golems at all. He replied that now that they were all level 11, hunting golems was ineffective. Yuya thought they would head to the next dungeon. Phil asked which dungeon they were going to head to. The man replied that it was located under the ocean. The girl thought it was suicidal with those levels. Yuya knew that. It's alright. He just wants to try something. He tried to reassure the girl since he wouldn't do anything dangerous. If it is, she asked to take it. Phil handed him the returning crystal. It's a rare item. No matter what situation they get into, they can use it to summon a portal home. He was hesitant to give such a valuable item to him. The girl called it just sisterly love. She is very worried about the guys. Then Yuya decided to take it. The girls asked him to hurry. Phil reminded Yuya of the last time she had said that he had reached level 10 incredibly fast. Then why the hell is he already at level 18? He's only 2 levels away from the next rank. The man, finding himself in an awkward position, replied that nothing is impossible if you try. The girl knew that everything had a limit. It only took him a week to reach the 18th level. She had never heard of such a thing. And he can fight the hermit crab. This creature is the Grim Reaper of the underwater dungeon. He has already told her that he is confident that they can defeat it. Phil thinks he can do it. The girl decided to leave it alone and handed over the loot money. She asked if Yuya knew that there would be a festival here in 4 days. The man knew that. The whole town is preparing for it. They will hold an annual competition for aspiring adventurers. Phil suggested that he participate. The competition consists of one-on-one duels on wooden swords. Any skills during the fight are forbidden. He looked at the poster. The man thinks he will miss it. He is no longer a beginner but just an old man. The girl thought he would say that. But what if she said that thing would be the prize? It's a pocket watch. Isn't that kind of thing of interest to him? It's a rare item, so there might not be a chance to get it anywhere. Yuya really wanted it. Luna found him and informed him that she was hungry. Suddenly an idea came to the man to offer her to participate in this competition. All adventurers up to level 20 would gather at the festival, and there would be a tournament. He asked if she would like to participate. The girl replied that it sounded like fun. Luna will participate. She really wants to win in this tournament. After all, it will allow them to become stronger. But since Yuya only taught her the assassin's blade, he advises her to find a PvP opponent somewhere to gain experience. Till asked about her, and he decided to teach her self-defense skill. Then Phil will enroll Luna-chan as a participant. The girl has something else. She asked his opinion about it. It's a battle with killer monkeys, which surprised the man. Novice adventurers wouldn't be able to resist a creature of this type. Luna wanted to watch it too. Phil thought so too, but the guild master had already decided everything. But it wouldn't be a one-on-one battle. The group will consist of 3 people. 2 of them have already been chosen, so there's only one place left. The killer monkey is a monster of incredible strength and agility. Not even a sword can pierce through its thick hide. Yuya decided to take this quest. Phil was very grateful to him. Now he suggested that they take something to eat. Phil turned to him. There was something else she would like to say to Luna-chan and Till. He wouldn't mind if she went with him, right? Yuya had planned to invite her from the beginning and was fine with it. Only he suggested not to overdo it with the wine like last time. The girl went to change her clothes. It turned out that Kevin had accidentally overheard their conversation with Phil-san. His brother is also participating in this quest and he's worried about him since he might do something risky to impress them. Yuya realizes where he's going with this. The guy treated him to wine on his way back, so he'll see what he can do. Kevin thanked him for that. The girls didn't know the guy. Till wanted to compete too. She wants to fight. He explained that the girl fights at long distances, which would cause her to be in a hopeless situation. There's nothing to be done about it. Till replied that she has become very good at using a knife. He stated that this was not enough. What he wants to know is how she, at her age, has so much stamina. Did she go through some kind of special training when she was a beginner? She explained that she had always dreamed of being an adventurer. Therefore, the girl asked the strongest warrior of the elven tribe to take her as an apprentice. She was incredibly persistent and was able to talk him into training her for 1 week before she left. The man realized what was up. Even so, she still wouldn't be able to participate in this tournament. Till was upset. Yuya noticed that Luna had now improved her dagger wielding, and she could now do a double strike. He suggested a practice fight. Yuya will use a wooden sword, and she can attack him with a dagger. He wouldn't attack back, so she would win if she hit him for 30 minutes. The girl felt that she has too big of an advantage. She wants him to attack back. He suggested that she try it first and see what happens. If she wins, he will do whatever she wants all day. Luna happily agreed. The girl didn't think it would be easy. Yuya is too strong for her, but if she can move faster. The man explained that just being fast is not enough. She must watch his every move, wait for a chance, and attack. From now on, they would practice like this for 30 minutes every day. The girl asked if she would receive a reward when she won. Then he decided that it was only for this month. If she could give him even one blow during that time, he would fulfill her every wish. Yuya inquired about what she had in mind. Finding herself in an awkward position, she replied that it was a secret. Till didn't understand why they came back if they couldn't get more experience here. He explained that today they were going on a treasure hunt. Luna smelled the treasure and pointed in the direction of the scent. Luna learned a new thief skill, Treasure Sense. This skill allows its wielder to sense the location of treasure. No problems, so far, have arisen. It should be around here somewhere. The boys came to a dead end. Yuya speculated that there might be a secret passage somewhere here. He asked the girls to stand behind him. Luna marveled at his kick, while Till thought it was rude. Overjoyed, Till approached the treasure. Yuya remembered that Luna had a lockpicking skill, and a level 3 one at that. These chests with a 50% chance might be a trap, but with Luna's skill, they could open them safely. He suggested that she give it a try. The chest quickly opened. The girls became curious about what was inside the chest. There was a magic pouch. Its capacity is about 10 kilograms. It is the smallest among the bags. But even so, it could be sold for 2 million juru. But they won't sell it because it's for Till. Carrying around a bow and arrow all the time must be hard. He had already given one to Luna along with her dagger. The girl was grateful to you. She would keep it safe. The man informed Luna that she only had 3 minutes left. This would be her final blow. The girl went on the attack. She realized that she wasn't moving fast enough. Luna thought about greatly increasing her speed in a small amount of time. Yuya was surprised that she approached him so quickly. All her movements were preparations for this. She aimed at the small gap created during his movements. The girl knew she could do it. She missed. With a chuckle, the man announced that time was up. The girl was angered that Yuya had just used his arm to dodge. She thought he was cheating. It was definitely a punch. He noticed that Luna actually did a very good job this time. Yuya made a decision that she would win this time. He would listen to her, but only she must remember to practice further. The girl promised to try her best. He said she should go back and have dinner with Till. Luna asked about Yui. He replied that he had to meet someone. At dinner, the man asked what had happened. Phil has something she would like to say in private. The whole festival is very suspicious. The location of the monsters is different from the last time and the guilds keep rejecting requests for help. He asked if she was sure she wasn't exaggerating. The girl thought that there was nothing to worry about, but she had a bad feeling about it. Yuya promised to do his best to help, for which she thanked him. She felt much better now. Besides, the girl wanted to add one more thing. She really wants him to spend the night with her. He thought she was drunk again. Phil denied it. There is something she would like to tell. She confessed that she had always loved you. The girl apologized if it was all so sudden, but as long as she kept it to herself, the guys could leave town at any moment, so she just wanted to tell him how she felt. There are only mid-level dungeons in Ranbulgu. If he wanted to rise above level 25, he'd have to leave this town. What if she says she wants to go with him? Would he let her? The man pondered. Yuya agrees if it makes her happy. Phil thought it was so unfair. If he had only asked her to go with him, she would have gone without the slightest hesitation. The man only wants Phil to be happy, so she has to decide for herself. He will stay in this city for a couple more days, so she can still support them as the guild secretary, right? The girl agreed with him. He informed her that it was time for him to leave. What surprised her was that even now he wouldn't touch her. Yuya replied that if she continued, he might actually do so. But the girl was fine with it. The man realized that since she had gone this far, he couldn't refuse. The door to the bedroom slammed shut. He asked if the girl was sure, which she confirmed. Then the two merged in a kiss. Yuya returned home. He was met by Luna, who informed him that Till was eating. She felt something strange. The girl realized that it was just like Till had said. Last night Yuya had gone out with Phil. She could smell Phil's strong odor on his body. The host announced that the winner of this year's competition was the thief Luna. He asked the girl to tell how she felt. Yuya was pleased with her. The guys gathered at a local bar to celebrate. The man said it was excellent. He suggested that to celebrate, the girls could eat whatever they wanted. That's what Luna always does. Despite the difference in weapons for different classes, it is still possible to increase the effectiveness of their stamina, movements, body weight at will. With her incredible focus and sharp instincts, Luna can become even stronger. Till tells the guys that if they want to see Oni-chan, she's talking to a customer there. She still seems to be working hard as usual. Luna overhears Phil confessing to someone. Yuya was concerned upon hearing this news. He decided to see if it was really what she had heard. Luna recalled that her ears could hear everything clearly. The man remembered that she was half fox, after all. The girl could tell him what they were talking about. He told her many things, like that he wouldn't let her suffer for the rest of her life, or that he was from a family with a noble lineage. Yuya knew that many people would chase after her. She was a guild idol after all. Yuya's face appeared scary to Luna. He inquired about Phil's answer. The girl admitted that she really didn't trust him very much. Then if they met again after 10 years and he could repeat his words by then, he could offer it to her again. Then she might consider his offer. That was what she said. Yuya realized that she was mentioning her past. Yuya looked happy now. Till offered to call her little sister right now. It seemed to the girl that the guys really liked this festival. The man confirmed it. He offered to join them. Phil congratulated Luna-chan for winning the competition. There's a lot of things Luna wants to ask Phil about at the festival. The girl offered to discuss it later when she finished her work. Phil apologized to the man. Something urgent had arisen, so she would not be able to come to him. He asked not to worry about it as he understood everything. The host announced to the audience that the test subjects had arrived here. Now this trio will fight the killer monkey. Yuya and two other adventurers entered the arena. The guy turned to the old man, saying that he really appreciated his help to Kevin, but asked him not to interfere. He should probably stay back and watch. The other guy suggested that Nicole should have a competition to see who could kill the monster first. Nicole doesn't think he can win. Yuya thought they should team up since their opponent is a killer monkey. He is completely ignored, and they are forbidden from using any magic. He doubted that it would really go well. The host apologized for the wait. The magic barrier is almost ready. The girls realized that they would no longer be able to enter. The presenter announced that now the main event they had all been waiting for. The fierce battle between the killer monkey and the three adventurers finally begins. The monster was very hungry. One of the boys decided to start first. With steel fists he attacked the monkey in the face. The monster only needed one punch to fight him off. The adventurer realized that he was strong. Then Nicole thought he was going to be a hero today. He was going to give the monkey a fiery blow. A thud was heard. The monster's skin was much harder than he thought. The monkey was ready to fight on. The monster was annoying the protagonist beyond belief. This is a rather difficult first round of the tournament. The man decided it was time to pay him back. The girls supported him. The adventurers thought that it was impossible to fight him under their conditions. With their levels, there was no way they would win. Yuya was going to be a shield. He would signal when the time came. And once he did, he wanted them to put all their strength into one attack. The announcer announced that Yuya's candidate was lunging forward alone. Is he going to be okay? He dodges all of the killer ape's attacks. Everyone froze in anticipation. Yuya candidate successfully landed a punch to the right eye of the killer monkey. He signaled to Nicole and Isaac. The adventurers went on the attack. Both delivered powerful blows to the monster. As a result of the attack, the killer ape fell to the ground. Luna and Till admired the boys. It was hard for the guys to believe that they had won. They recognized that it was Uedono's victory. He, on the other hand, believed that they had done it together, so it was their victory. Nevertheless, the old man's advice was sometimes useful. The host, clapping, called the performance remarkable, as expected of elite adventurers. Here it is, the real challenge. They are all true witnesses to the evolution of this beautiful creature. The killer ape, which the group did not expect, has indeed evolved, and has become even stronger. The man stated that all this time they had depended on these creepers for their survival. Still, these so-called adventurers use power to gain fame, fortune, and even women as much as they do. He's tired of this shit. Now they will use monsters to fight monsters, because not only are they incredibly tough, but they are also docile. Completely different from these useless adventurers. He asked his creation to do so. The barrier was removed. The guys were asked to get out of here, they could handle it. Yuya realized that this was bad. The monster slammed his fists on the ground. Stone debris scattered toward the hall. Phil realized that something was wrong in the arena and worried about Yuya. The man didn't understand why they had to do this at the festival. He asked Phil-san where he should put those boxes. The girl didn't respond. He immediately found himself covered with boxes. Blood was oozing from Yui's hand. It was impossible to move in such a state, let alone a blazing blow. Something told him to use it. The protagonist's sword asked to be used. Yesterday, the owner of the weapon shop had given him this sword. It was a demonic katana. Yuya decided to use it. He said that he would have to destroy it. He couldn't lose in front of his lovely disciples. The man used the power of the gods and attacked the monster. The resulting blow left it headless. The girls realized that this was the end. Yuya knew that he had to catch the guild master now. He needed to hurry up. He was at his limit. He noticed Phil running past and another guy who had also arrived. Then he decided to leave the rest to the guys. It had been so long. Phil and the guy had already caught the guild master, so you no longer had anything to worry about. By allowing him to date Phil first, the guy was staying one step behind. But Phil would become his sooner or later. He would make her his no matter what needed to be done. They would see each other again in a year. Yuya thought about Leonard. For her, working at the reception guild is her dream job. Every new day is her fulfillment. Still, she wants to be with Yuya. These feelings haven't changed even 10 years later. That's why, after the guild is rebuilt, she will follow Yuya. She will always follow him. As long as she doesn't leave, she will leave Luna and Till to him. Phil wanted to say that last time, but it was so unfair that he only drank Till's dew. She put a drop of her dew into Yui's magic bag. The girl asked to drink hers too. The man was touched that she gave it to him so easily. The next time he saw her, he should return the favor. Phil also enclosed a photograph. Yuya informed Luna and Till that the pictures with Phil were ready. The girls looked at them with great eagerness. Each turned out cutely in them. They noticed that the man had no beard but would soon grow it again. The man watched them with admiration. Now he would tell them about their destination in the next town. But before he did, he asked if the girls knew what they needed most. Till suggested that they needed super powerful weapons. If they had powerful weapons, it would be easier for them to hunt. He asked Luna's opinion. The girl gave it some thought. She decided that they needed new friends, to which he agreed and grabbed Yu. Luna was right, so he should pat her on the head. The man said that they had top-notch equipment, so what they needed most was new teammates. If they could find a monk who has healing abilities, it would be great. After all, if they get injured, they won't be able to fight. Till protests, because the fourth member of the team is her sister. Luna also thinks that Phil is the best. He replied that there is an item that increases the limit of team members by one person. Yuya wants to make it so that Phil becomes the fifth member. He asked if that is bad. The girls were in full agreement. The man knew that even so, it would not be easy to find a single monk. But there was no other way. He informed the girls that they had arrived at Greenwood. Both of them were surprised by the place. There are two reasons why Yuya chose this town. It's easy to raise levels here, and they can find Inta's eggs. He explained that the guys would only be able to get them in the dungeon of the Inta forest. When an Inta egg appears, the familiar will hatch. The girls were interested in the pet. One egg is born every month from any of the countless trees. Since there is high competition for it, he wants to gather information. But first, the boys visited Greenwood's guild. This is the first time the girl sees one mage warrior. Yuya provided her with a list of quests they had completed. He asked her to register them. The girl was shocked to see that there were so many. The man claimed that he wasn't lying. He pointed to the guild emblem. The girl assumed he was a bully. She apologized and promised to prepare a quest for them right away. If possible, he would like to find a dungeon suitable for adventurers below level 25. Also, he's looking for another team member. A monk would be a good fit if possible. The girl decided to hire one for them. Luna asked Till what he was doing. Till checked that he wasn't flirting with her. Forest events. The girls were surprised by the number of people here. At this rate, all the monsters would be exterminated. He said that this time the quest was to collect boar meat. The team set off to fulfill the quest. Running towards the boys was an adventurer who shouted that it was coming and told them to run if life was precious. He escaped. A huge maw opened in front of the boys. It is a giant insect, a star eater. It is the scavenger of the ant forest. The girls doubted that they would defeat it. How would they be able to? Even when 50 people with level 20 challenged it, they could hardly defeat it, and 35 of them died. Till marveled at his strength. The girls decided to hurry up and escape. Yuya suddenly declared that they had come here to enter this maw. The creature shrank like a spring and drilled. Everything in its path collapsed. It became dark, and Yuya turned on the light. He asked them to hang it around their necks. The Star Eater is not a monster, it is a secret dungeon. When he swallows them, they are transported to another dimension. Inside it is a maze. Luna thought it was full of monsters. Yuya himself had never seen anything like this before. Till's jade eyes can see in total darkness. Luna's excellent hearing and instincts allow her to sense space well. Such talented girls. The protagonist feels like he's starting to get unchildlike envy. There is a curse in this dungeon. In 12 hours, gravity will increase here, so they can't delay. The girls didn't understand what that meant. He explained more simply that after 1 day they would not be able to move, and after 3 days they would die. Both of them asked him to hurry. Yuya kept in mind the fact that this place was not known to anyone, which was proof that no one got out of here alive. He told the girls to be careful. They went forward. The team was attacked by a horde of fanged hogs. Till decided to use high-rank thunder magic if arrows didn't work. Divine Thunder disarmed the opponents, but one of the horde could still move. The last survivor was successfully dealt with by Yuya and Luna. This quest is over. This fight exhausted the girls. The man suggested we gather the meat and hurry to the exit. Not much left. Luna discovered that there was a monster nearby. She suddenly pointed at the ceiling. The monster was a ghost spider. The silk web on its legs masked its footsteps, allowing it to approach silently. Yuya begins to cast. If it wasn't for Luna's sense of space, they would have already died. Luna and Till are already at their limit. He has no choice but to do it himself. The cast takes 20 seconds. Distance minimum range. Effective time 2 seconds. The spider was preparing to attack. The man knew it was inferior to Till's Divine Thunder, but the magic that defeated the deadly hermit crab in the underwater dungeon. He used mid-rank thunder magic. The defeated spider fell to the ground. Luna worried about him. He thought about how the more his level increased, the stronger he became. Yu seems like he needs to practice magic. Till pointed out to the man the one cocoon that hadn't been crushed. The boys decided to try to open it. Inside the cocoon was a girl, inside the stomach of a star eater. Yuya asked Till if this was the right road, which she confirmed. He should just keep going straight. In all this time, the girls were very tired and hungry. They finally saw the exit. The boys arrived at a strange place. There was a portal in the middle of the room to which a man was called by the girls. He told them to wait. A star map on the ceiling gave a clue to the location of the Ent's egg. Luna saw many stars and monsters. Each of these stars indicates the location of the Ent. A shining star marks where the next egg will hatch. Luna spotted a killer monkey. Till says that even if they know where it is, it means nothing if they don't know when it will hatch. Yuya replied that this big clock would tell them that. Every day the long and short hands move steadily toward 12 o'clock. And when the two hands converge on 12, the egg will hatch. Till realized what that meant. Will they come back here again? As Yuya expected, she had good intuition. Besides having to hunt monsters tomorrow, they also have to check how far they've come. The girls were upset by this news. He was surprised at how energetic they both were. They are done for the day, so they are out of here. The man asked if they could bring this girl to the inn once they got out of the dungeon. Luna asked about Yui. He decided to stop at the guild before returning. After returning to the inn, could they wash her and change her clothes? The girls promised to fulfill the request. When Yui returned, they would have dinner together. Luna asked him to go back quickly. He also asked the girls to be careful. Greenwood Guild. The protagonist thought that, as it should be, the priests are gone. Before they join Phil, he wants to find the fourth man, but it's complicated. After all, this girl, 10 years ago, her father informs Lutla that this man is the guard he requested. She need not fear. Yuya saw that she was afraid of him. He introduced himself, after which the girl hid behind her father. The guy understood everything. Taking off his glove, The adventurer asked about it. He will become the knight of Princess Lutla. For his pride as a knight, he will protect her. This is a promise. The girl held out her hand. He knew she was the princess of the kingdom, but he did not understand why she was then in such a place. Inside the crushed cocoons, there were only weapons, so there were people inside them. Was it Princess Lutla's guards? But the digestion speed doesn't match. He can't imagine her entering alone. So what does that mean? He has a bad feeling. The first thing to do is wait for her to wake up. The princess opened her eyes. She remembered being caught by a spider. Yuya saw that she was awake. He was sure that Princess Lutla had grown up. The man inquired about her well-being. The girl recognized Uncle Yuya. The others also woke up. Lutla hugged him. Luna and Till were indignant when they saw this. Luna made a statement that Yuya belonged to her. The princess said that he hadn't changed at all. Still popular with the girls, isn't he? 10 years ago, that elf girl was also jealous as she clung to Uncle Yuya. It was Phil. He informed the girls that it was the princess of the Rarzul kingdom, which they definitely didn't expect. The girl's name is Lutla. 10 years ago, Yuya became one of her knights. They realized that she was his friend. The man inquired about the reason why Lutla was in that place. Since it was Yuya's uncle, the princess thought she could tell him. She replied that she would tell him everything. Simply put, it was her brother's trap. She had heard about the Intaz eggs during her official visit to Ranbolga, so she stopped here on her way back. After entering the Ant Forest and gathering information, the girl came across a Star Eater, but when the monster was about to drill into the ground, the guard pushed Lutla forward and she was swallowed. But at that moment, she seemed to hear crying. The man suggested that if so, it was very likely that he had been threatened and forced to do so. The princess thinks so too. Her mother has the least power in the royal palace because of her common background, so it could have been her half-brother or sister. After being swallowed, she tried to find a way out, but her body was getting heavier and heavier, and while the girl was resting, she was caught by a spider. When Lutla came to her senses, she found herself here. The boys were shocked by her story. Luna marveled at Princess Lutla, for she could not have fought alone. The girl asked to be called by her name. Her uncle could call her that too. Till realized that there were many monsters and traps, but she was still caught. If the princess returned to the capital, she would be killed. But since her siblings think she is dead, this might be an opportunity to counterattack them. The man was surprised that she remains calm, even after the attempt on her life. The princess decided, since she would be killed if she returned to the castle, she would not return there until the day of battle. Yuya didn't realize what the day of battle was. It turned out that in the kingdom of Rarzul, when there are many pretenders to the throne, the successor is chosen by battle. Yuya understood everything. Princess Lutla is an obstacle, both because of her courage and her strength, which allowed her to sneak inside the Star Eater all day. The girl explained that she would therefore pretend to be dead until the day of the battle and return to the capital on the appointed day. The girls sympathized with her, so she wants to ask them all for a favor. Until the day when the succession to the throne is decided, she asked to be allowed to join their team. Till replied that it was fine, they were just looking for more people and she looks strong too. Luna wished for more friends. Yuya realized that although he wanted to cooperate with Princess Lutla, their lives would become targets. He asked what she would give them in exchange for their help. The princess decides that in such a case, from the extra classes that only royalty can receive, she offers herself as a crusader. The man knew that despite their low attack power, crusaders were tanks and yet had healing energy. Even if she is a crusader, it would still be better to get a monk. It wouldn't be enough. Lutla realized this but stood her ground. If she gets the right to the throne, she will appoint him a winged knight as a reward. The princess will give him this sword. The sword of the winged knight is one of the 5 divine swords. It is the best weapon that warriors covet. He is not going to stay as a knight in the castle. Is that still normal for her? Lutla replied that it's settled then. He promised earlier, after all, to be her knight, so she asked to remain her only knight. When she begs like that, he could not refuse. But the man complimented that he was very strict. The girls knew that he was going to accept her from the beginning. The boys decided to get ready to eat. Yuya handed the princess a hair ornament. The color of the girl's hair became dramatically darker. He told her that it was a magical item called the Blessing of the Night. It enhances resistance to darkness, but her hair also turns black when she wears it, instead of staying with her platinum-colored hair. That way she won't be discovered. The girl decided that it would not be enough by itself. Using a knife, she cut off part of her hair. Luna and Till were surprised. First her hair had suddenly turned black, and now she had suddenly cut her hair, and it was so beautiful. Lutla replied that it would make it harder to spot her that way. Yuya said that it would be bad if she only changed her appearance. A name was also needed. The princess had never thought of a fake name. Luna said Yuya made up that name for her, which Till didn't know. Then Lutla asked Uncle Yuya to come up with a name for her. He said to just call him Yuya. Who would have thought that he would give a name to two people? The girls turned their attention to the full moon, over which the man pondered. He asked the princess about Selena. Princess Lutla's platinum hair is like a beautiful shining moon. And since in the old language the moon was called Selene, what did she think? The girl marveled that Yuya was quite romantic. He informed the girls that he had named her Selene. The princess decided that she would be Till-chan and Luna-chan's concern from now on. The girls asked to be called by their first names. The boys were hungry and were about to eat dinner, but Selena hadn't changed her clothes yet. They advised her to hurry. Central Square. Yuya held the shield of the warrior Princess Lanora that Selene used. She thanked him for waiting. She inquired about his opinion of the outfit. The man said it looked great on her, and he didn't think anyone would ever know it was Princess Lutla. The girl rejoiced. Yuya thanked her for showing him the shield. It was indeed a first-class item as expected from a princess of the Rarzul kingdom. He wanted to ask her a question. Yuya asked if she knew who the warrior princess of Lanora was. The girl knew. She was an ancestor of the royal family. It is still said that she is the strongest warrior in the world. Selena asked about that. Ever since Yuya met Selena, he had been worried about why the warrior princess of Lanora didn't use a sword. He had read about it in a book. In fact, it was just a thought that occurred to him. Selene said that it was a lie. The warrior princess Lanora is known for her bravery and heroism, and she doubted that he could defeat the enemy with just a shield. He thought that Lanora's shield was meant to stun and chop enemies. The princess told him that Lanora's shield had been passed down from generation to girls with silver hair. She uses it now, but she can't even attack with it. It's just a shield that is passed down. But this technique has been forgotten. Yuya offered to simply prove that his words were true. He is only going to use the shield of the warrior Princess Lanora, that is, her shield. The man told Selena to try to imitate a real battle. She could use a wooden sword and a spare shield. He will try to recreate Lanora's fighting style. The princess said that even he can't do anything about it. She was taught all of this in the royal family of Rarzul and in Lanora's school. Yuya replied that they would know after they tried it. Selene asked if he really thought he could win using only a shield. The man said anytime. Then she attacked first. Yuya can tell the skill level of a swordsman after one swing. Selena is close to first class, or maybe she's doing pretty good for her age. That's it. He could have already killed her 7 times in that time. The princess replied that she had just started. The man defended himself against all her attacks. Once the ruse worked, he would dodge and attack at the same time. But at this distance, his shield would not reach her. A blade appeared from the shield. Now the princess understood. This is how the warrior princess of Lanora fought. There is a mechanism on this shield that creates a blade. This blade is made of liquid metal obtained by processing divine metal. It extends when magical power passes through it, allowing it to change its shape and hardness at will. If Selene relaxed her body, she would be better protected. The girl didn't react to it in any way. Perhaps he had overreacted a bit. Yuya put his hand on her shoulder and called out to her. Something gurgled inside her. The girl became embarrassed and asked him not to look at her. The boys returned home. Luna reported that she was finally feeling better. She would no longer drink sake. Till was lying next to her on the bed. Luna noticed something strange with his cheeks. He said there were various reasons. Till's head was still hurting. How come Yuya and Selena can drink sake without any problems? She was answered that it was because they drink wine as if it were juice. The man suggested skipping the dungeon today and resting. They decided to do a practice battle tomorrow and Luna will wear her clothes. Luna informed Selene that today's dungeon hike and practice battles had been cancelled. The princess realized that she was also having a training battle. Luna couldn't do it yesterday and today, but she usually does it every day. Yuya was worried about Selena. Standing at the door, he asked if she was afraid. The princess said that they had a practice fight earlier, and she thought she was going to die from Yuya's punch. She admitted that she was scared. Isn't Luna afraid? The girl confirmed that because she believes in him. Luna thought that was more than enough. But if she is scared, then she'd better stop asking Yuya to train her. Because if she can't trust Yuya, it's strange to make him train her. After swinging the door open, Luna declared that it was unfair that he was only training Selena. He let her know to be quiet as Till was sleeping. Selene, also suddenly bursting into the room, asked Yuya to teach her how to fight like the warrior princess of Lunner. She must become stronger. The boys asked her to be quiet. The man decided to do the training tomorrow after they go to the dungeon. He will teach Selena as much as he can. Inside the dungeon, the team made sure everything was in order. Till was about to start. You were reminded that if they encountered a demon, they would follow the plan. Luna detected the demon nearby. Till could see it. 20 meters away from them are 4 horned boars. Selena says they are in total darkness and she can't see anything. It's so reassuring to know so quickly where and how many demons there are. The girls replied that it wasn't that surprising. The man said that it was Selena's turn now. The princess used the battle cry skill. Luna and Till didn't realize what she did. She just kept standing there all the time. Yuya explained that Selena used the battle cry skill that aggroes demons on her. The boars were heading towards them. Selena was going to fight them. The girl remembered Lunora's shield technique. She decided to use it in battle. Selene reinforced the barrier. As a result, the opponents were stopped. Seizing the moment, the team set about destroying the enemies. Till knew that an arrow wouldn't work on the horned boars, and with Selena there was no way to use divine light. One of the boars fled. Selene had no intention of letting him go. The blow she received from Yui was the cleric's offensive skill. The girl struck with her shield. Thanks to this technique, the enemy was killed. The boys marveled at Selena's strength. The princess realized as she fought with Lunora's shield, she could become stronger. Luna was surprised that Selena could attack and defend herself. The girl said the cleric could do both. Till inquired about the latter trick. It's called a shield strike. Yuya offered to talk about it after they got home. The center of the Star Eater, advanced lightning magic was used. It had no effect on the monster. Yuya explained that they were ground beetles. They had a resistance to electricity. Till was angered that he couldn't have said this a little earlier. Using other battle tactics, the guys realized that he was strong. After analyzing the situation, the protagonist used mid-level fire magic. Selena gave the monster a decisive blow with her shield. Luna discovered a fallen object that looked like a gemstone. A man told her that it was called MANHWA, a dark crimson gem, and it was extremely rare. Wizards, priests, and more, it's something every crusader wants to have. Till thought it was just a gem. Yuya replied that it was because of Luna's increased drop chance. They can use it to make an armor enhancement for Selene. The girl refuses if it's just for her sake. If it's so rare, why don't they just sell it and split it for everyone? Yuya explains that it's an item that they may never get again. And they are a team. If Selena gets stronger, they'll get stronger too. Selena suggested that Luna use it. Till turned to her. Once, she had already received a gift from Yuya and Luna, so she advised her not to refuse it and be happy. It makes her realize how lucky she is to be part of this team. The girls realized that Selena is one of them. It's clear to her. The princess thanked them. She would treasure it. When they had time, they would handle it. The team arrived at the site. Till said that today was easy. She feels so much stronger. Selena saw the exit for the first time. Yuya decided to go check where the eggs are now and let them explore the place for now. He could tell them what to do, but they could learn a lot more on their own. It would be more fun that way. In a month they'd catch up. By then he should have that item to increase their team's maximum strength. The location hasn't changed. In 5 days, it will be time for the eggs to spawn. The sacred tree will spawn eggs in 5 days at midnight. 5 days later, Sacred Wood, 11 p.m. Selena apologized to the guys. Luna did her best to cheer her up. Yuya had no idea that the armor store in Greenwood wouldn't be able to handle MANHWA. But the next town they head to is the City of Fire and Blacksmithing. They have the best craftsmen working for them, and he's sure they'll do it for them. The girls were overjoyed by this news. Till called out to the boys, there is no more room here. They didn't expect to see so many adventurers here. The man told them that the eggs were rumored to take a month to mature. About 30 days after the last one discovered and 5 days of gobbling in between. All the team members wanted a familiar. The guys were going to go full out. They traveled a long way but never encountered any monsters. There aren't any. Maybe they're hunting. It had been 3 days since one of the monsters had been moved, and with so many adventurers, it wouldn't take them long to track it down. Yuya offered to hunt it. Luna and Till hated bugs. Selena, on the other hand, was ready to go. She surprised the girls. This worm is creepy. It seemed to the princess that if you looked closely, he was pretty cute. The adventurers told them to stop yelling and stay away. This is the territory of their clan, the Wolf Gang. They know what that means, don't they? The boys were told to get out or they would chop them to pieces. Till didn't understand why they should obey them. He's the one who has to. The girl wasn't allowed to finish her sentence by Yuya. He apologized. They were just trying to find a place. Well, since that's the case, they'll move on. No one pulled out their sword since they need to get that egg. Till didn't like the man grabbing her and carrying her on his back. He suggested she just relax. They were almost there. Selena asked Yui why they left there. Luna agreed with her. After all, Yuya could defeat those bastards in the blink of an eye. He recalled that the girls had heard that they were from a gang of wolves. If they started a fight, they would call for allies and it would become harder to get the eggs. As it is, they won't give them much trouble. Of course, they are easy to defeat. But if they did that, they would call for allies. If it was only Yuya, he would easily be able to escape. But now, he wouldn't be able to protect Luna, Till, and Selena from the entire clan. He was sorry that Till had to put up with it. The girl understood that Yuya cared for them, and she might have put them in danger. The man asked not to worry. He understands that she wanted what was best. Selena thought he was giving up his eggs. Luna wanted some, too. It turned out she didn't. Yuya promised to give Luna whatever she wanted once they got the egg. He has a plan, that's how they will do. So, while Luna is getting the egg, the three of them will cover for her. So he'll also give Luna a watch and sunglasses. He'll also give Till sunglasses and Selena will cover herself with her shield. The girls understood everything except Till, who asked to repeat more. 30 seconds to midnight. The adventurers were counting down. They felt someone approaching them. The knight was going to use the swordsman's art. The girl dodged his attack. The adventurers didn't understand where she came from. They don't have time for that. The following also surprised them. The moon prevented them from concentrating on the egg. It was midnight. A bright glow appeared, blinding them. The moon finally reached the egg. Thanks to the glow, the adventurers recognized the location of the egg and were about to head there. The moon was gone and the men missed the egg. This time they screwed up. No sign of that girl. Dodged the swordsman's attack. Took his egg and disappeared. She had piqued their interest. The team admired the jewel-like egg and Luna's abilities. The girl asked Yui when it would hatch. The man offered to discuss it later. For now, they would return to the inn before anyone saw them. The team gathered around a table to celebrate the successful mission. Luna asked Yui how to make it hatch faster. He asked her to give him a little drink. Seeing the girl's disgruntled looks, the man decided to tell her after all. To make the egg hatch, there are 2 conditions. First, to warm with human warmth for 200 hours. Second, after they finish warming, must dip themselves in hot springs mixed with spiritual energy for 8 minutes. It seemed easy to the girls. Luna asked what a hot spring was. According to Yui, it is more complicated than it seems. Hot springs are, you might say, a big bathtub. He hadn't been to them for a long time. The girls wanted to go to the hot springs too. The man knew they were in a neighboring town, so until then, the 3 of them would need to warm this egg. Since Luna had gotten it, she would be the first. Till suggested that Selene gamble on who would be second. Forest events. The boys were on a hunting trip to swat a few rare monsters. To their delight, there were no star eaters here. It seemed to Selene that there were no monsters here at all. Yuya told her that this place was called the Forest of Grief. There are only high-level monsters in this dungeon. There are only a couple monsters roaming around here, but the final boss is waiting for them in this forest. The girls were happy with this news. This boss is naturally strong. According to him, most bosses are so rare that they only appear in certain areas. And of course, there are rules when entering a room with a boss. They won't be able to escape, and the Stone of Return won't help either. The team members were startled when they heard this. The man complimented that if they defeated the boss, they would get more experience than usual and never before seen rare items. Selene reasoned that this way they would definitely be able to raise levels faster. The required level for him was 28th, but Yuya was confident that they could defeat him. He asked the girls' opinions. They expressed their willingness to fight for the stones. Then they set out. This place leads to a hidden path to the boss's room. One must pour their mana into the shrine and there really was a hidden path here. No one would have thought of such a thing. The boys came to the exit. Yggdrasil. The girls were surprised at the size of this gate. Till assumed they led to the boss. The man confirmed this. This gate has a magical seal, and to enter you must activate it. When they enter, the battle will begin. He asked if the girls were ready, which they confirmed. Selena didn't see anything. Luna spotted the monster up ahead. After greeting them, he admitted that he hadn't seen humans in a long time. And now, he offered to show him his power. Yuya instructed the team members to prepare. The Minotaur's first action would be to use his ability. The man told Selene to dodge to the side. He shouted to the confused girl that the monster was behind her. The Minotaur intended to kill the princess. Selene was stunned to see him about to swing his weapon. Till used a lightning strike to save her. The monster remained unharmed and, paying attention to her, rushed toward her. She called out to Luna. The girl used her assassin's blade, stopping the enemy with it. Yuya praised Luna for her work. The effect of his skill wouldn't last long, but he used a battle cry. Selene realized that she should stand up and protect them, but her legs wouldn't yield. Yuya called out to her. He didn't understand why she was still sitting. Was she content to be able to kill monsters only weaker than her? Then why were they practicing? The guys must win so Selene could ascend to the throne. She really wants to become truly stronger, doesn't she? The adventurer saw that things were bad. The princess decided to use the battle cry and treatment. Luna and Till are still fighting. She can't stand by. The girl wants to win with her team. Yuya realized that she was using the ability. He told Selena to use the ability to dodge. The princess did just that. The Minotaur's horn broke. With Selena's help, they were able to reduce the distance of the crusher. She was finally able to. He beckoned to Till, and the girl used the arrow creation. The elven girl knew she had to put all her magic into this arrow. Till didn't understand why she was the only one who should. Always running away. She wants to fight too. Yuya had already told her. She has the role of a ranger. She knows what would happen if she spent all her mana right. She might be paralyzed or lose consciousness, and that's dangerous. Therefore, the Elfess used magic and surprised Yuya with it. Isn't she weak now? The girl doesn't know how it happened. He decided that from now on, they would train magic together. Till used first level thunder magic and full release magic while the man used mid-level lightning thunder magic. The team joined forces. The Minotaur is paralyzed. This is Selena's chance. Unexpectedly, Yuya appeared beside her. He, deciding to join in, took hold of her shield. The two resolutely headed straight for the monster. Using magic, the guys struck with their shield. The blow finally killed the Minotaur. They had shown their strength. The enemy recognized that it was incredible. But it is not the end. He is one of the weaker monsters. The real horror is just beginning. A string of binding fell from the Minotaur. It's a mega super ultra rare item. It's one of the important ingredients to increase the limit of the participants. That's why Yuya came here to obtain it. Selene asked him about another item. It turned out to be a red Minotaur horn. Also a super rare item. Selena couldn't stand it and fell to the ground as she was tired. And she apologizes a lot. She was so scared she couldn't move. The princess called herself a worthless tank. She had set everyone up. Yuya didn't think so, even though she couldn't move. But after all, she didn't stop and went forward. And afterward, she was able to stop the Minotaur's ability. She was even able to defeat it. He thinks Selene is stronger than she was before. The girls confirmed it. She even broke the horn and finished him off herself. Luna said that Till's thunder arrow was incredible. It had a completely different shape. Till agreed that it was amazing, but she wouldn't be able to use it twice because she ran out of mana. Since they had gotten the drop, Yuya decided that it was time for them to go home. Luna and Till were already thinking about the party even though they had only recently celebrated receiving the egg. Yuya turned his attention to Selena and asked what was wrong with her. It turned out that the princess couldn't feel her legs. She would catch up with them in a little while. What Yuya did made her feel embarrassed. He couldn't leave her behind. But such a favor is only for today. The girls began to envy Selena. They too wanted Yuya to carry them, and begged for it in every way possible. Their mission in Greenwood was over. Next stop is the city of fire, blacksmithing, and hot springs. While they were waiting for the caravan to the city of Flareguard. After the move they defeated the Minotaur once more and got the Minotaur axe and Orichalcamore. Though they tried to take other actions before traveling to Flareguard. Luna also wanted to go with Yuya. The man didn't know what he should do in such a situation. Luna is acting like a spoiled child again. Selena asked her to be patient. It would only take 8 days, but Luna stood her ground. Till was surprised at how helpless they were. She whispered to the girl what to do at times like this. They agreed to sleep together until they left for Greenwood. The three of them, for some reason. It had been a month since then. Leaving them to Selena, Yui's point was, Lindbergh. Phil watched a pair of birds from the window. She primped herself at the mirror and at the same time heard someone coming home. Presenting him with the letter, the indignant girl demanded an explanation. Yuya thought that this was the letter he had sent to her. What was there to explain? The contents of the letter shocked him. Inside was an appeal from Luna to Phil, stating that Luna was making babies with Yuya. Till and Selena are also helping. She would like to eat her goodies. The girl hopes they will see each other soon. Phil realized that by making babies he meant that he was doing bad things with those girls. The man explained that even with a knife at his throat he wouldn't touch them. And here Luna was writing about kamiki eggs. He wrote about them in another letter. And Luna wrote that letter while she was learning literacy from Till. Phil is glad to hear that. He clarified that he was not a pedophile and asked her to trust him more. The girl replied that it was because she fell in love with him at the same age they are now. Yuya said that he was young and handsome then too. Phil remembered the lunch she had prepared and he happily agreed to eat. The man said it was incredibly delicious. Phil was glad he liked it. She was nervous because she hadn't cooked for someone for a long time. Yuya was going to tell her about something. The girl wanted to clean up first and then they would talk. He decided to tell while she was cleaning. There's something he's been lying to her about for a long time. And he wants to apologize. The first thing that came to Phil's mind and what she was so afraid of was that Yuya didn't love her, which he denied. The girl calmed down. After the story, she realized that the resetting of his level happened not because of the demon's abilities, but this goddess. And Phil can't believe that he was able to increase the limit of the points he received. She kept thinking that he was too strong for someone who lost a level. The man apologized for not telling her anything. Phil didn't see it as a big deal. Such information, if word got out about it, it would be bad. But even so, he told her anyway. Yuya informed the girl that she too could reset the level and increase the limit of points she received. He wished she could get that too. Yes, Phil would lose her level, but if she wants a lot more than she does now, he thinks she should do it. But he's not forcing her, it's her choice. The girl has stated that she will do it. She's an adventurer after all. Then the two decide to go tomorrow. Phil Yetoransu, level 50, former guild hostess, spiritual archer. She thought this costume was strange. Although if she were younger, it wouldn't have been a problem, but now it was disconcerting. Yuya, on the other hand, thought she was cute, which he was absolutely sure of despite the girl's doubts. When they walked around the city, it was more embarrassing. People thought that next to Phil was her boyfriend. It was the first time the girl saw the statue of the goddess he was talking about. Yuya explained that she should insert this crystal into the statue's pendant. He would be waiting here. The man remembered that the moon was inside a similar crystal. On the crystal he noticed a necklace that had been here that time as well. He assumed it belonged to Luna. Its main element was a blue crystal. Yuya decided to give it to her when he returned. A happy Phil returned to him with the words that she had finished. He inquired about how it had gone. The girl reported that she had indeed become a level 1. She's starting to reminisce about the old days. He likes it when she doesn't hide such a side of herself. Now she needed to choose the coveted class. Phil pondered her choice. The girl discovered a class that had not been there before. A man took an interest in it. Phil, a former spiritual archer, was about to get a new class. That class was the druid. Yuya had heard a word like that. Phil thought it was only in fairy tales. The man knew that it was the founding elf class. She didn't expect him to know such a thing. He wasn't an elf after all. Yuya explained it by saying that he learned it when he read. And he lied again. He promised himself not to do that again. She waited for an explanation. He apologized, saying that he was right. Such is the belief that this is the class the founding elf used. But this is her life. She must choose for herself. The girl reassured him that all was well. She smelled great power when she saw this class. Well, she had chosen the druid class herself after all. Yuya admitted that he didn't know anything about it, so he was also surprised. Phil thought that even so, it was a good class. Even though her magic power had dropped, she could still use fire, water, and air magic. Although it's not an attacking magic. He asked what kind of magic it was then. The girl thought it would be better if she showed. The initial dungeon. Hidden path. Phil apologized for the wait. He inquired about how it had gone. According to the girl's story, 2 spheres appeared and added points when gaining a level. These spheres increase characteristics when gaining a level. When asked what he would do now, Yuya replied that he wanted to see the power of a druid in action. He suggested going hunting for stone golems. Novices can't fight them, so if they nail one, it won't be a problem for them. The man asks Phil to join his team. He wants her to be with them from now on. Since the day Yuya left the team, Phil has been missing. How many years have passed? The thought that she wouldn't see Yuya again was killing. But the girl continued to love him. She believed that as long as Yuya was alive, they would be able to meet. And for that, she began to study, became a hostess in Ranbiruku, where many adventurers gathered, and searched in small towns, gathering information on weekends. All this work just for this moment. Phil is glad she didn't give up. Glad to be alive. She asked not to be left alone again and not to disappear or think of dying again. Yuya apologized for everything. Now the girl offered to hunt golems until it got dark. She would show him the power of a druid. The boys began the battle with the monster. The protagonist is used to counting them as a danger, but not this time. Phil told him to make it so that the golem couldn't use abilities and magic, and then she would deal with him. The adventurer knew that stone golems were incredibly resistant to physical attack. If he were to beat them, he would only hurt himself. Yuya decided to trust Phil. He did as she said. After waiting for her turn, the girl used magic. The boys worked together to win the battle. Phil explained that it was the enchanted water skillet. She had enchanted his sword for water damage, since stone golems are weak before water. Because of hitting the weak points, the damage doubled. As if a punishment of some sort, spiritual archers only have the wind attribute, while druids have the elements of water, fire, and wind, and can also use recovery magic. If you increase the level of the skill, you can gain 20% life recovery from the damage dealt by an enchanted item. Plus, Phil can recognize the weaknesses of monsters. This is the perfect class for her. He asked if she had studied all magic. It turned out that only fire and water. If she wanted to increase her attack power, she would have to push her skill level to the limit. Yuya replied that it was fine, Till could use wind. When the time came, she would show him the other abilities as well. The man was surprised that she didn't want to show them to him now. Phil asked to be more patient despite his interest. Yuya suggested that he hurry up and nail those golems, then go to Flareguard. 6 days later, they traveled on a giant beast from Greenwood to Flareguard. The girls tried to cheer Luna up. It was as if Luna came to life when she heard a familiar sound. Looking out of the window, she saw Yuya. The guys had arrived 2 days earlier than they had planned. Yuya asked if the girls were okay. Phil asked Till if she was well, which she confirmed. Luna missed him, she felt lonely. He apologized for leaving her and asked her to just wait a little longer. But Till had had enough. Luna cried every night. Luna thought it was their secret. Selena thought the sooner the better. Both were surprised to see Luna climbing up on the windowsill in an instant. Yuya tried to dissuade the girl and convince her that it was dangerous. But he saw her daring to jump. Luna went to join them, scaring even the monster with it. Till was about to jump too. But when she saw the murderous look in her older sister's eyes, she immediately changed her mind. Flareguard. It seemed to Till that it was hotter here than in other cities. The man explained that the temperature here was higher than in other cities. He was going to go to the guild to register and take the quest. Yuya asked Phil to take everyone to the hut while she wished him to be careful. Luna had no intention of leaving Yuya. Till said that Yuya had become her jealous sister's boyfriend. Things would only get more complicated from now on. The man decided that Luna and he would go together and let the girls go to the hut together. Phil replied that they had just started the punishment, so they would go first. The girl spanked Till as punishment for teasing her. Flareguard Guild. The place brought back memories of Yui. Luna assumed he had been here before. Turns out, a long time ago, the man remembered that he had something for her. He had found it where they had met and thought it belonged to her. The girl doesn't remember if the necklace is hers or not, but she feels some nostalgia. She thanked him for it. Yuya suggested to quickly finish registering and come back. The girl at the check-in was surprised to see the report of quests completed 100% and learned about the magic swordsman. She apologized. She had just never seen a magic swordsman before, and the team that completed so many quests. The girl welcomed them. Their talented team they welcome especially. She assumed that they were here to register, which turned out to be the case. And if there are quests, Yuya would like to take a couple. Luna assessed the likelihood of cheating. She didn't understand why the girl was imitating Till. She offered to gather materials to recover the items. Yuya asked to take care of him while he was here. The girl said he could come whenever he wanted. The man reported that he had returned. The girls greeted him in a friendly manner. He liked the room. Phil thought a room with a kitchen would be a great idea, so it was a little more expensive. Luna was delighted with the picture of the new house and the delicious looking food. Till noticed that the food wasn't just good looking, it was actually delicious. Selena said that it was mostly Phil who did most of the cooking. The girl was embarrassed, replying that she shouldn't have said. The guys decided to get down to eating. Phil inquired about who was watching the egg today. Selena remembered that it seemed to be Luna. Phil laughed at the fact that they had a hen. Yuya announced that they are going to the Sand Channel tomorrow. It's a quest with a dungeon. Selena inquired about it, but the man said that when she sees it, she'll be excited. Luna is looking forward to it. The Sand Channel. It was unbelievably hot there. Till asked her son-in-law when they would get there. She would be dry now. The man was surprised at the way she called him. Till didn't see it as a big deal. He's going to marry her sister, right? Phil stammered. The girl, flustered, said that she was in no hurry, so she wasn't ready mentally. But that doesn't mean she doesn't want to. It's all up to the man. The man said it was true. Phil thought that he wanted to get married. Yuya planned to do it when things settled down. Till congratulated her on that. She realized that her older sister had also absorbed monster levels like her brother-in-law. Is she alright? The girl replied that she had raised the level to level 13 while they were there. Luna smells something like water. Till reminded her that the word was forbidden. She'd only just managed to distract herself from her, and there wasn't even a hint of water. The girls rejoiced when they finally saw the lake. Phil saw the wandering oasis for the first time. Yuya thought they were very lucky. He suggested that they take a rest stop. The girls called out to him to play. Yuya doubted that he could play. He was actually quite an old man. Phil, taking off her clothes and remaining in one bathing suit, said that age doesn't matter. They should enjoy moments like this. Till inquired where she got such a swimsuit from. Everyone also appreciated it. You seemed like he was in a dream. He never thought he would have such an adventure. The man agreed with her. The night had come. Finally, time for just the two of them. Tonight was very lively, but the day was not yet over. The lovers were taken by surprise by the moon. The girl couldn't sleep and wanted to sleep with them. The two didn't see it as a problem. 2 days later, the boys saw something very bright in front of them. They had finally arrived. It was a golden pyramid. Now they must be several times more careful. When they reached the second floor, they found traps. Phil fired her bow. The girl hit one of them, surprising her younger sister. Third floor. Yuya asked Luna and Till to be careful. Selene was curious since they bypassed all the traps and stuff. The girls told Yuya and the others to keep up. Selene took a step and activated the trap. This caused the girls to panic. The princess was frightened, for because of her, Phil and Luna were about to be crushed. Yuya noticed that the ceiling was quite high. He turned to Selena. The girls shouted at them to run. Yuya picked them up. Selene had to tilt the shield without looking at it, adjust to the plane. The girl used her ability. Calmness came for a short time. From above, the darkness of the monsters that had found them by sound. Silent scorpions of death. Their name describes everything. They are very poisonous and move without sound. If the moon had not been with them, it would have been a surprise. There are hundreds, no, thousands of them. Escaping is not a good idea. Yuya calmed them down, determined to deal with them. A long cast reduces the power to almost zero, increasing the radius and duration. He used a modified storm, mediated by ice magic. Permafrost appeared all around. A few hours later, this monster is the last one. How many are there? Selena said that each of these monsters, not counting the small ones, gave a huge amount of experience points. Phil also went up 3 levels. Yuya replied that thanks to Luna's skill of increasing the lunge rate, they got a lot of lunges. They should make sure to collect them properly. Deadly Scorpion Elixir, the item required this time. Luna informs him that she collected a lot, for which he praises her. The man thinks they have collected everything and can move on. Upper floor. The boys come to the Sphinx statue. To those with fearlessness and wisdom, the Sphinx offers congratulations for getting this far. He has a final task to give them. He tells them to name the king of the Golden Pyramid. The girls didn't know him. Selene reasoned that the pyramid is a tomb, so it asks them to tell them the name of the leader, the king of this tomb. The others rejoiced, figuring that the final task would be accomplished thanks to her. But the princess admitted that she didn't know that much. Phil doesn't have a clue either. Yuya suddenly said Sen's name. The king of the Golden Pyramid is the Sun King, Send. This impressed the Sphinx. Those who know the name of the Sun King, Send, will be given a treasure. Yuya took a protective bell. As long as it rings, it's hard for monsters to get close. Luna inquired about the mysterious object. The man explained that it was a pendant. It seemed heavy to Till, but it turned out that the pendant wasn't finished. Yuya got it when he defeated a minotaur. If you combine it with a thread of knots, they become one. A necklace. It allows an extra person to join the squad. They now have a 5th member of the squad. Till was surprised that they went through all this trouble just to have a 5th person in the squad. She thinks having 2 squads like they had before is no different from this. Yuya replied no, it's completely different. The most obvious reason. For the boss battles, the extra fighter will increase their attack power. Selene said that in a boss battle, only one can participate. But that's not the only reason. As Phil said, healing and enhancement magic often works on the whole squad, so it conserves the energy of the magic. And since the size of the squad will increase, the experience points will also be increased by 1 or 2 times. Till was surprised by this amount of pluses. Indeed, there are only pluses, that's why this item is so hard to get. Relying on the messages appearing in Yui's mind would be unfair to the other adventurers. In the dungeon of the pyramid, there is a wall drawing depicting the Sun King, Send. He wanted to see it, but since they have accomplished their mission, it's fine. After the mission, they decided to relax. The man noticed that, as expected, the hot springs were completely different. Phil said that the hot springs were good too, to which he agreed, as they were healing. When Luna insisted on joining, it was problematic, but it turned out that it was possible to rent entire hot springs. Phil thought it must have cost a lot, which he asked her not to remind her of. But it turned out well. They can soak the eggs without hiding them, and they don't have to hide them when they hatch. So it makes life easier, and Selene didn't have to wear her wig. Taking a vacation without worrying about human worries is very relaxing. Yuya asked Luna to relax, this is not an oasis. Moving and swimming so much would make her dizzy quickly. The girl replied that she understood and dove into the water. The boys noticed the eggs began to hatch. They remembered the moon, which no one had ever seen. How unusual, she is always the first one who would come to see. The girl seemed to be frozen in the water. Yuya was telling her not to swim for too long. He was very worried about her. At that moment, she lifted her head out of the water and happily told Yuya that she had broken the record and stayed underwater for 10 minutes. The man felt relieved. The girls told him to pay attention to the bottom. He discovered that he was not wearing a covering towel. A familiar hatched from the egg. The man told them that it was an elf dragon and was quite famous. Selena had never seen one before. He's so cute. Luna pondered the baby's name. She decided to call him Eric. The next day at Crimson Volcano, Luna was surprised that it was so bright even though they were in the mountains. Yuya explained that the reason was because it was lit by lava. It's only half. Luna spotted another Eric, but it was a boss statue. The location of the boss room has already been found. Now they are waiting for it to change. Till thought that since there were now 5 of them, they would be fine. They could easily defeat the boss. Phil clarified that the boss here wouldn't be so weak. They would always have to be on their guard. Yuya agreed with her, but that wasn't the only thing this time. It was the information he heard from the secretary. It turns out that one squad had already defeated the boss a couple times. In that squad, there were 2 adventurers at the entrance of the hall. The mage girl was going to use healing magic to help the injured man. The guy asked him who gave him permission to pass through here. To pass through here, he first needs to defeat their people. And that meant it would be in his best interest to face the Crimson Hounds. The Crimson Hounds have guards at the gate that leads to the boss room, so they don't let the other adventurers through. At the same time, their troop is hunting the boss. That's what their clan does. Phil thought that if it involved information about the boss attacks, selling them and sharing them would be more than enough. Yuya replied that as is, there is only one boss. They would give battle either way. Selena inquired about how they would get to the boss's room then. He remembered that as Till had said, you have to fight cheating by cheating. Till asked what he meant by cheating. Could it be dangerous? The man asked Till to slow down. Here it is. He asked if Luna could jump to the other side of the river from here. The girl thought it impossible. If Luna can't, the rest of the adventurers probably can't either. There is a back door that leads to the boss room on the other side of this lava. Luna was going to go. The girls realized that it was impossible to get there. Yuya decided to go for it. Phil wondered why he was alone. Yuya reflected on everything that had happened, from the sand channel, from the sandworm, to the desert sirens and silent death scorpions. Today, there were red lizard men and red horns, and they defeated many magma alligators. Everyone really got stronger. Now the man could say that when he traveled with Phil and Leonard, envied and felt inferior because of the 2 of them. The girl was surprised by these words. Yuya couldn't bear how they surpassed him so quickly and went where he couldn't reach. He left the squad not only because he didn't want them to be slow because of him, but also because the guys were too dazzling. She and Leonard are the real geniuses. When he returned, he marveled at how much Phil had honed their talents. When Yuya woke up, Luna told him the story. Phil belonged to him. He said that they would meet in a year. Leonard will definitely appear in his way again. But for now, he needs to raise the level. But Luna, Till and Selena also don't lose. That's right, Till is growing amazingly. Yui's way of learning is good. No, they put in enough effort and get stronger. Phil is just looking out for them. It's so reassuring to know that he's watching over them. But if you think about it, Yuya was envious and felt inferior. Does that mean he's jealous of these girls too? The man speculated that maybe he was just bad as a person. Now he is genuinely happy. Maybe it's because he's given up on his status. Because he's gained strength. He has peace of mind in his heart. But he doesn't hate himself now. Yuya used to hate the version of himself that was envious. Phil has never seen Yuya as he is now. He can't show that part of himself to his students. The girl asked why he shows it to her then. He didn't consider her his student. Phil decided to ask about that talk about the wedding. Is it really what he feels? Yuya confessed it sincerely. She can't believe that she is allowed to marry Yuya. The man said that we should deal with Selene's case first. The princess longed for her father. Boss reassignment day. Crimson, Volcano, mid. Yuya inquired if Selena's hands were comfortable. The girl felt like she'd been wearing them for years. She had never seen anything better than this even in the castle. The princess told him thank you. Phil noticed that her older sister had gained weight. The 2 apologized for keeping them waiting. Phil wondered if she should go on a diet. Selena told her that she had gotten a great thing for healing. They could trust the healing to her. The man said that the battle with the boss would start now and suggested that they discuss the plan again like yesterday. The adventurer ordered everyone to get out of the way unless they wanted to die. The captain of the Crimson Hounds, Guard Gelrose, was surprised at the large number of men this time. He, turning to Carla, said he hoped no one had passed. He made sure of that. The captain inquired if there were those who had challenged them. They were sure there was no one like that. Guard spotted someone. There are some people who don't even pay attention. He approached the team from behind. Yuya voiced their plan. They will follow the tracking of the moon and go to the boss room. It's a race against time, but he suggested advancing calmly. Guard, standing behind him, noticed that the girls weren't that bad. the protagonist realized that it was the leader of the Hounds Crimson. His physique, aura, and equipment are completely on another level. No, a beastman and a dragon fairy and 2 elves. Are they sisters? They're first class. He felt they should join them instead of sticking around with that talentless old man. They welcomed them anytime. With this old man, they would hardly be satisfied. Till resented why she had to hear it from him. She tried to accept it, remembering how she had once protested in the same way. The girl doubted her sister could take it, and sensed her disgruntled aura. Yuya said that he would justify himself here. They left. The member of the Crimson Hounds thought that they were probably just hyenas, adventurers who hunt for treasure chests and monsters while they hunt the boss. Carla saw nothing remarkable about these women. The captain said that kids like him wouldn't understand it. The girls felt resentment and indignation. The team came to a door, beyond which is a maze leading to the boss's door. Once he is reassigned, the door will open. The reassignment will happen soon, but are they ready? The girls expressed their readiness. Then the battle for supremacy began. Carla decided that anyone who tried to stop them would die. He would not give adventurers who wanted to hunt for the boss a pass. Anyone who was going to interfere with them, he repelled with his own weapons. By then, Yuya had counted the 11th monster killed. It had been about half an hour since the reassignment. They should hurry up. Yuya was about to slay the 12th monster when suddenly another adventurer intervened in the battle. Yuya blocked his attack. Guard praised his reaction. The commander reported that the boss room was on the left. It was the first time the Crimson Hound girl had seen someone block Guard's attack. She used advanced dark magic and began to call out to Guard. The commander wondered how he caught up with them. There is only one gate to the boss room, but it is guarded. Even if they could get through, is there a faster way they could use? Yuya couldn't tell. Those who blabber would be hard to find. Guard realized that they would have to extract this information from him later by force. Right now, they are not playing with these guys. The adventurer did his best, but his head and hands were a bit lacking. Well, it was all for nothing anyway. The Crimson Hound girl used dispelling magic. Guard gave the order to quickly deal with them and move on. The girl asked about those behind them. They don't kill them. Guard needs to ask that guy something, so they'll let him live until they defeat the boss. Luna informs you of what she sees. She feels an incredible magical power coming from behind the door. There was a mural with a dragon on it. The man had no doubt that it was the boss's door. The Hound Commander Crimson ordered to keep those behind them at bay, but not to kill them. The clan stopped. Yuya concluded that they had decided to surround them. Luna had no intention of surrendering. The girls realized that even if they won, the 4 of them, it would be impossible to catch up. They have no choice but to do so. Yuya reminded Luna of how she had crossed the lava in the back. The Crimson Hounds didn't realize what they were doing. Yuya used instant ice magic. An ice road appeared in front of the team, leading straight to the boss door. The adventurers were shocked by what they saw, and they reported it to the captain. He also did not expect such a twist. They created a bridge of ice over the lava. He had never heard or seen anything like it. Yuya turned to them, saying that this time they would defeat the boss. Guard tried to stop them. The protagonist explained that he had done his best, but it seemed that his head and strength were a bit lost. Here, he will quietly go back. The man asked the team members if they had a clear plan in mind. He suggested attacking at full strength. The boss sensed their presence. They were a huge enraged dragon. Yu was surprised by the health point scale that appeared. A man was telling them to get out of the way. It's dangerous. He saw that the Dragon King was too strong. This is the 5th time. Instead of text, Yui has pictures going through. This is the first time something like this has happened. That guy is what? Him. He was wondering if they should go ahead with the plan. Now he understands the pattern. This guy's original action. Explosive pressure. Phil asked that this be made available to her. The color of the explosion from explosive pressure is blue. A whiff will cause anything it comes in contact with to explode. So if you hit a fire with an arrow, it will explode immediately. As expected, there was a massive explosion. Till was surprised at how it could hit from a distance. The speed of the arrows is also tremendous. It hurt her that only her little sister could stop the Dragon King's attacks by dealing damage and firing fast balls. But now, the man sitting at the computer said the next red sigh. Red fire spreads so it doesn't have a large radius, but it can cover a wide area. From this, Yuya drew conclusions. He gave a sign to Eric, Phil, and Selene. Dragon defense, improving squad defense. Fire and ice resistance, improving the fire resistance of an entire squad. Improving the fire resistance of an entire squad. The final and most important was Selene's action. The princess's castle wall was the impetus for the attack. Yuya praised the girl and went with Luna to attack. The others also followed the plan. After the pressure comes the physical attack. He must dodge without losing momentum and strike. The protagonist came face to face with the dragon. Luna saw that because of the heat, the ice was melting very quickly. At this rate, she definitely wouldn't hit the weak spot. Here comes the blue fire. Phil won't let him avoid their attack while she's here. The dragon was increasingly infuriated by this. Selene used magic to keep the monster from getting even close to Phil. Till also decided to support her sister. Yuya saw that the attacks were coming in a certain sequence: explosive pressure, red breath, and physical attack. They successfully dodge according to the plan and deal damage, all synchronized in a pattern. Let them keep it up, we need to wear him down. Crimson's hounds were not finding a place to go. The leader realized they had been fooled. He suggested they switch roles. 20 minutes later, they were finally able to reduce his stamina by 20%. Yuya asked Luna not to lose his concentration. From now on, Till decided to protect her and her little sister. Phil was ready to support her. The man hoped for Phil's ice-cold defense. The girl promised to continue summoning her from now on. When her stamina dropped below 20%, her attack power, speed, defense, and durability would increase and activate. The dragon went into rage mode. Selena asked to leave it to her. She's scared, but she's a shield and won't run away no matter what. Yuya was also going to help. Strangely, Selena felt the same as she did during the battle with the Minotaur. When Yuya is with her, she is no longer afraid. Right now, she feels like she can do anything. With Selene's castle wall, they won't be able to resist attacks in rage mode. This is the new ordinary magic that Yuya acquired after leveling up. Generally speaking, it slightly increases the defense against physical attacks and magic for the wielder and his allies for a while. But there was no point in constantly improving the defense. The man reduced the optional duration by 2 seconds, adjusted it so that Selena's defense only increases significantly when she is attacked. The defense is ordinary magic. Chanting time 20 seconds, duration 2 seconds. He was perfecting the defense magic. The dragon's breakthrough was accomplished. Through the efforts of Yui and Selena, the castle wall as well as the absolute barrier were created. Luna was scared and clung to the man. After that, Yuya applied permafrost magic. Luna went straight to the monster. Yuya asked Selena if she was alright, which she confirmed. The princess realized that she had to be more than just a shield. With these gauntlets that she had gotten from everyone, the girl applied healing. Everyone was supporting Luna.